Today's episode is brought to you by the Twisted Fork. Eat, drink, and enjoy. Sam Bean, welcome to the show, my friend.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, man?
I'm hanging in, man.
You are a very, very talented guitar player, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, people love to see you perform, dude.
Dude, it's a lot of fun. I can't speak for my talent. I feel like I'm just doing what everybody else is doing.
How much fun do you have when you're on stage playing in front of people?
Oh, I love it. Especially like the more intimate shows that we have down here, playing these clubs and bars and stuff. It's a lot of fun watching everybody dance.
How would you describe your style of play, man?
It's a good question, man. I have a lot of like influence. I mean, I started in like Southern rock, and I really liked soft rock and like Pink Floyd and all these bands. And then I kind of broke into metal. I was big into Jimi Hendrix, and he has that wild sound. Pink Floyd's got that big stadium sound. You kind of mix it together, you start getting into the 80s.
Sure.
Makes sense. And then Eddie Van Halen, of course.
So when you were a little kid, man, real little, like what were you listening to?
I was listening to, whatever my dad and my parents were showing me at the time. And obviously, like, we didn't grow up in like the best generation for music. So I had some of that in there, but I slowly kind of turned more into like the classic rock. So, I hit all the landmarks. My dad was showing me, Ice Cream Man from Van Halen, and I was like, what is this? And then I'd hear like Boston's debut record and I'd be like, what is this? And built from there.
Right. And isn't it great when you discover rock and roll? Like I used to sit in my sister's room, sneak in there because she wouldn't allow me, when she was around, and I would play her records, and I would put on the turntables, and I would look at the liner notes, and I would just sit there for hours and just be amazed at what I was listening to.
Yeah.
And discovering things for the very first time. Man.
Absolutely.
I was like a big Stones guy growing up.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, absolutely.
But would you say that Eddie Van Halen for your generation, was Eddie Van Halen like the guy like Eric Clapton was for us, my generation?
It's hard to say. I feel like for my generation, it's like, I think of like people point to like John Mayer, Tim Henson, but I'm more into like the guitar heroes a little bit before that time. So Eddie Van Halen for me, and like my friends who play music for sure.
Well, do you have a blues background?
Absolutely. Yeah. I started with Stevie Ray Vaughan. It was huge for me back in the day. And Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Gary Moore. Loved all those guys.
Yeah, you gotta know the blues, man.
Absolutely.
That's all. It started with the blues.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I remember seeing him live when he was just came out, and he would play the Pier in New York City. Okay. And nobody really knew who he was. He only had maybe one album out. Yeah. And he was up in New York City, but then very quickly people, found out who he was. Yeah. And he, by the time he had his third record out, might have been Couldn't Stand the Weather, might have been that one. I don't know. Mm-hmm. He was all over the place, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As a freak.
He's blowing minds, man.
But Jeff Beck, to me, if I had to rank my guys, I'm going to ask you to rank yours. I'm going to say Jeff Beck. I'm going to say Jimmy Page. I'm going to say Clapton's in that group. Okay. I'm going to, of course, Hendrix. I mean, he has to be there. And then, Eddie Van Halen is not really that group. That's a different era. I'm talking like back then. So, I mean, Keith Richards was not much of a guitar guy, but he wrote a lot of really good songs. Yeah. George Harrison, the same thing.
That matters,
Pete Townsend,
though.
Yeah. But for sure, like metal rock, Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck. I mean, I think that they were the arena rock guys back in those days.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
I think, when my list comes down to it, it's a pretty basic list. I feel like it's universal for sure. Jimi Hendrix, 100%. Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Jimmy Page. I mean, those were the guys that I can remember like idolizing. Like I was watching video after video of those guys. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd also was a giant one for me too. I'd have like posters of them up on my wall and stuff.
So were you trying to like listen to like every note and trying to copy these guys as a kid? Like I remember during the record days, I'd put my needle down and I would listen to something. I would wear the record out because I keep putting the needle back down, trying to figure out the bass lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And it like initially, not as much anymore, but initially now that I have like a really good grasp on techniques and stuff, I can just kind of hear what's going on and go for it. But back then I was 100% going through entire live performances, not even just like the studio records, but I was going through live performances of like David Gilmour and Stevie Ray Vaughan and like trying to copy what they were doing live, note for note.
Why do you suppose you took it so easily? Like you learned how to play guitar like pretty good. Like was it your ear? Was it your mechanics? Was it just sheer practice? Like,
luckily at the time, like I was born with an ear. like sometimes people just don't have like pitch. Like
I agree 100%. Dude.
They have no idea. And I was just lucky enough to be born with an ear. My dad's got it. My mom's got it. And yeah. And initially I started playing on piano. So like when I was a kid, I would like learn these little songs on piano. Then I picked up drums and I tried to do the drums. And I went to a teacher. I wasn't disciplined enough for a teacher at the time. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try guitar. And then I think because I could like really make full songs on it, and I was listening to a lot of stuff that had guitar in it at the time, that stuck.
Did your piano help you as far as the way of chords and scales?
No, I never really did any of that.
But are you self-taught then, more on the guitar?
Yeah, no, I have never had a lesson.
Isn't that amazing? As good as you are, that you were self-taught.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hear things that sound cool, and then I copy them, and then I just integrate it, and that's how it goes. And
then just pure repetition, man, like, muscle memory, right?
Yeah. And I mean, over time, I learned what the things I was doing, what they were called and how they work. I don't know complete theory or anything, but people would be like, you should learn like what the bass notes are and stuff. And
well, what's funny? A lot of great musicians don't necessarily know theory or can't read sheet music, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, a lot of them can't. I mean, you hear it, it's classic. I mean, I think Jimi Hendrix was playing some music off sheets, but I hear it from Eddie Van Halen never played any. He never had a teacher. He just went for it.
Right.
Right. I'm doing the same thing.
But what's funny? He had parents. So I guess maybe this is true of a lot of rock stars, is that their parents were either musicians or made the kids at a young age, pick up an instrument and learn something.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, my dad's been in bands. Since I was a kid. So I remember like going to his shows and going to like Snapper's Bar and Grill up in, Palm Harbor and watching his shows, and that definitely inspired me to do what I'm doing.
So let's fast forward to today.
Sure.
What's your current band, or I should say bands?
Oh man, it's a lot of projects. It's like hard to. So I got it in line. So I just picked up a job playing with XYZ, Terry Lewis, doing all the XYZ hits from back in the day. I'm gonna interrupt you there. Sure.
How did you get that gig?
So they were supporting a young band called All or Nothing. The singer of that band is well known is Brett Carlisle. He's in Great White. He's the singer of Great White. He replaced Terry. And that young band was touring with XYZ and George Lynch as the backing band and also the opening band. And over time, when that band had some personnel changes, they were fans of my band Midnight Vice, so we knew them and we were buddies.
And Midnight Vice is an original rock band.
Yeah, it's my original band with Tyler that was on here previously, and we were just friends. Like we just knew those guys, and we went to some of their shows and watched them play with George and watched them play with Terry. And as personnel changes happened in their band's lineup, we were acquainted with them and their manager was like, hey, I need guitar for XYZ and I need you to fill in for George.
And you were good enough that you were the guy for the bill.
Yeah, I hopped in there like a couple weeks out on notice, and I learned all the stuff for George and for Terry. And then I picked up, I got the job for Terry. He liked it. And then George also wants me to play down here with him.
How great is that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're playing with legends, man.
Yeah, it's really crazy. George is a big one, especially nowadays for my influences these days. George is up there.
So when you're playing with George, a guy like him, and you're doing it, you're laying down mostly the rhythm.
Yeah. With George, I'm doing mostly rhythm guitar. Sometimes he'll come up and be like, twiddle a little bit, and then I'll do some stuff.
Very cool.
I'm just supporting him mostly.
So, but he's cool like that.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. Yeah.
Are you still blown away by watching him on stage and playing with him? Is it like, are you still like, wow, I'm with George Lynch?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like I remember. When we were up on stage getting ready, he'll kind of stand behind his amp and like do sound check. And I remember like his tech comes out, sets everything up for him, and his tech is good. But I remember I wasn't over there anymore. And then I heard George playing. But I watched his tech playing before I left. So I'm like, man, there's no way that's his tech playing that. That's George. And I walked up and it is him. He can't come out. He just has like this sound to him that's like really particular, and like watching him play is crazy.
Isn't that cool that like you can close your eyes and you can hear certain guys and know who it is?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Eddie Van Halen's one that jumps out. Eddie always has that sound.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The guy from the U2, The Edge.
Yeah.
He's got a certain sound.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Well, you remember when Michael Jackson had him feature on that song, Beat It, right? Eddie didn't tell anybody, and people were still like, oh, that's Eddie Van Halen, even though he's not on the credits or anything.
And apparently he didn't get paid either.
Yeah, he didn't care.
He did a favor for somebody or something.
Yeah. That's a lot of money he missed out on.
Okay, so you're playing with YYZ and you're jamming with George Lynch. It seems like these guys play a lot. Like every time I'm looking on Facebook, do they live in Florida? Because they seem to be in Florida a lot.
Neither of them live in Florida, but like they have like management for this region. So I'm under that management.
Yeah, because they're down here often.
Yeah, they're down here pretty often.
Fantastic.
I mean, Terry, he has like a couple of other bands too that he does. He has like Legends of Classic Rock, where he's in a couple of guys in the band are from like White Lion and all these other cool bands.
But don't you agree that especially down here, and I'm going to throw out Charlotte County,
sure,
they're hungry for this music. Like they love the rock and the hard rock. Right?
Yeah, I've noticed like Fort Myers up to like Sarasota, people like absolutely
they go gaga over it.
Yeah, they do, absolutely.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, all ages, anybody who wants to come out and see us, if they're excited, I'm happy.
Yeah, and they don't. It's not considered hair metal. It's considered. How would you say it? It's like hard rock. Is that the best way to describe it? Or
people are definitely glam oriented here. I'd say the right word would be glam and hard rock. Yeah. It breaks into the early 2000s
but when I think of hair metal, I think of like the Rats and the Poisons and those guys, right?
Yeah.
You know, which was more commercial. Well, you said that those guys were more commercial. They were more radio friendly, perhaps Poison and
well, we were running into an era there where like things that weren't really mainstream or maybe were a little too scratchy for the ears of the average listener was starting to break through into the popularity, into like pop or whatever. That's why, because I feel like Rat is like kind of a heavy band, and it's kind of surprising that they got as popular as they did. Because
they just got a lot of singles on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, they were writing hooks. You know, they had songs that had great melodies and great hooks.
Yeah, despite it being kind of nasty sound of music, you know.
But it didn't hurt, though, that a lot of women went, or at least they use women in their advertisements.
Oh, yeah.
And men would follow.
Yeah.
Right? So you had some hot, metal chick, right?
Absolutely.
And then the Sunset Strip helped out because they were all up and down the Strip. I mean, I lived in LA in 1990 and I worked in Santa Monica and I used to hang out on the Strip, just cruising around. Mm-hmm. And metal was that particular music was kind of slowly dying.
Yeah.
Because the next thing I want to talk about is how that Seattle scene came and it seemed to take over, in popularity from the previous bands we just talked about. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I heard the Strip like really died out as being a place that was fostering new music because of like some laws and stuff.
Plus they made the kids buy the tickets in advance. So like if you were a band, you want to play Gazzari's or those kind of places, you want to like buy the tickets and then you want to go out and sell them on the street.
Yeah, that's the way they do it now. That's the way they do it now for everywhere. I mean, when we played the Strip, we played Whiskey Go Go. My band that does originals, Midnight Vice. We went out there and opened for LA Guns and we had to pre-sell all of our tickets.
Were you successful?
Yeah, we sold all of our tickets.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was good, but we didn't make it down.
But now, was that the LA Guns with the Tracy Guns?
Yeah, Tracy Guns was there. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. But the Seattle scene, look, there's you kind of like love or hate grunge. I definitely love it. It's another era that I really enjoy, especially, like Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of all those bands too.
The first time I heard Pearl Jam 10, I had no idea what I was listening to. I thought it was great. I loved it.
Oh yeah. That's an awesome record.
That to me was like a holy shit like record.
Yeah.
When it first came out.
Oh yeah.
Another one of like that, AC/DC Back in Black. The first time I heard that blew me away.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great one. Heavy blues rock. It doesn't really get much better than that. Angus is awesome. I like how like he's tiny and he's got that big SG.
Yeah.
I love that. He walks around. He looks like a bobblehead.
It's funny you say that because I was going to bring this up. So I went and saw AC/DC recently in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I went in there with low expectations because I had never seen them before. I saw them at the Grammys, but that doesn't count. But I went to the arena, or I should say the stadium, and I had really good seats. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised how good they were and how tight they were and how great it sounded.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Angus still has it, man.
Yeah.
That cat's 7 years old. He's running around like a maniac.
I did hear he fell. Did he fall at that show and have to like run back and come out?
He might have fallen, but I think everybody was so drunk they probably didn't even notice.
Yeah.
But then Brian Johnson, I think he's 77.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get him on the show, by the way, because he doesn't live too far from here, but I think he's still on tour.
Yeah.
But he sounded fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. So me and my friends were like, holy shit, AC/DC still has it.
Yeah, they still have it.
They're awesome. So now, a month or two later, it's my birthday. A buddy of mine takes me to Metallica at the same Tampa Stadium.
Yes.
And I was blown away by Metallica. I'd never seen them live. I got home the next day and I fucking downloaded everything of all their music.
Yeah, absolutely. They have all their albums are great. The golden era is definitely like Kill 'Em All to like Injustice for All.
But don't you think that band has its own very unique sound? Like nobody comes close to it. Like that they create a sound. They created something and then it can't be copied, man. It's like they only can do what they, you know what I'm saying?
They definitely spearheaded traditional heavy metal, and they're a huge influence on my sound, especially for my original band. I mean, we worship those guys.
Let's talk about Ozzy. Sabbath, because a lot of my guests that come on the show, they talk about that first Sabbath record, about how they were little kids and they heard it, and it was like they got bit by the metal bug, man. They just it was a life changer.
Yeah. And
then when Ozzy came out with his first 2 solo albums, I think people were shocked how good they were and how popular they were.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also like the trifecta of good guitar players too. Like everybody growing up, even in my generation, like you kind of dream about being an Ozzy guitar player when you're learning this stuff. You're like, when I get older, that's what I want to do is be an Ozzy guitar player, be one of his guys. I mean, Zakk Wylde, Jakey Lee, Randy Rhoads. I mean, those guys are irreplaceable. Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Would you say that Tommy Iommi is really like the godfather because he don't really hear his name like you hear Page and Beck and those guys, Van Halen. But don't you think that the way that he played and the sound that he made, he should get more credit than I think he does. And I think, he laid the foundation, dude. He set the table.
Dude, he was fucking missing fingers and shit.
I know. Yeah. How did he do that?
They put some like fake prosthetics on him. And
what hand? Which hand?
It was his fretting hand.
No shit.
Yeah, he was like a machine worker in England, and like I guess he like chopped the ends of his fingers off.
But they just had such a unique, dark sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because there was like a lot of happy shit music going around.
Yeah, what was Ozzy was saying one time? He was like, people go to the movies to see scary movies and get scared, and he's like, let's make music that's like that. Yeah. He wanted to make music that was like a horror movie. You know what I mean?
And it worked.
It did work. Yeah.
Those first couple albums were just dark and mysterious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I don't think our parents knew what we were listening to. Like, they would have been freaked out if they knew we were listening to Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
My parents just like let me do what I wanted to do, and I was listening to Sabbath. I loved it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Ozzy's solo career because Zakk Wylde plays in Pantera.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So Pantera opens up for Metallica. I'm like, holy shit, isn't that Zakk Wylde?
Yeah.
He's got his own sound too, man.
Yeah, before they talked about going out and picking a guitar player, they said they would go out and do a tour again, and everybody was wondering who would replace Dimebag. That's a big one for me. I got so many people I like, but
how did he die, by the way?
He got shot in a club in like the early 2000s playing with his band Damage Plan.
Like, did they ever catch the killer?
Yeah. It was a crazy fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just shot him at a show.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's just how it goes sometimes. These guys, I mean, you're playing a lot of popularity. Fans get weird sometimes.
You don't realize that, man.
Yeah.
There could be a psycho in the audience.
People get obsessive. But when they were talking about going out again, I was really curious who they'd pick as a guitar player. And in my head, I was kind of like, man, Zakk Wylde has that really like big sound that I feel like he could emulate Dimebag pretty well. And I think he's done a pretty good job. Yeah.
Pantera at the Metallica concert did a very good job honoring Dimebag. And the other guy that died too, there was a second guy that passed away, right? That was in that band.
I don't even remember. I think maybe Vinny died.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Vinny Paul, right?
Yeah, Vinny Paul.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't have my people straight.
but the fans love it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about you have a cover band. That's very good. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we just formed a new cover band with some members of Sunset Strip previously, and added some new members. So it's called Heartbreak Boulevard. So we have me playing guitar, Tyler vocals, John Young on drums. He's awesome. And Ben Hooper, he's on bass. And we're doing like a little 4-piece thing. We're under the same
one guitar.
Yeah.
So do you prefer to have the one guitar, or do you like having 2 guitars in a band?
It's a double-edged sword, because when you have 2 guitars, you can split the hard parts of these songs, and you can have, split the solos, so you don't got to learn so much. And on the other end, when you're by yourself, you also get all the glory, which is cool. So I don't know. I don't mind either way. I like having 2 guitar players. I like being the only guy.
You guys play some really, really challenging songs, though. You don't play the easy shit. You guys play the hard stuff.
Yeah, we play hard stuff. Yeah.
And the cool thing about Tyler is that he's got such a unique voice, man.
Well, that's what makes, that's what made Sunset Strip and makes this new band so great. Tyler just has a set list that nobody else can have.
And he's got the charismatic personality and the look.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a pro up there. He knows how to move. He knows how to sing. He just knows how to like be a rock star.
Yeah, he's excellent. Right? Yeah, he dresses well. He always dresses the part. He gets up there. He yells at everybody, gets everybody off their ass and dancing in the front. He's a super respectable musician.
Does that band have a set list, or do you just call out songs? Like, do you follow a certain order?
It depends. I think like we like to go in pretty structured. I mean, for these upcoming shows that we're doing with George, where like Heartbreak Boulevard's opening on these shows. It'll be structured because we have like a really set timeline. But when we go out and do like, and by the way, this band is like pretty much strictly under the same management that George and XYZ are under. So we'll be mostly doing shows that are involved with them or like shows from that management. But if we do play like a 3-hour show or whatever at one of these clubs, we kind of just call them out, and depending on how many drinks are going back,
And the cool thing is you can sing lead if need be, right? And give Tyler a break.
I could. I haven't ever done it. I wouldn't mind.
I could have sworn I heard you sing one time.
I did a sound check. Oh yeah. This was on Facebook. I did a sound check because Tyler wasn't there yet. And so we were doing Crazy Train, I think. And I sang Crazy Train and they put a live stream on Sunset Strip's profile and I got decimated. People were like, get that kid off the mic. And I was like, all right, I'm staying on backups now.
That's funny. Cool. Yeah. So what are the plans for the band though? Is like there are current dates other than opening up for George? I mean, there's like any Twisted Fork, any OCC, anything like that? I'd
like to. I don't know of any right now. Right now, we're all really focused and like honing in on the George and XYZ dates coming up. I was rehearsing all morning this morning.
Because Tyler's involved with that stuff too, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's doing vocals on like 3 of the 4 days of this tour for George. So he's doing the Dawkins part. And then he's obviously opening with Heartbreak Boulevard with us.
Is Dawkins hard to play?
I would, if you're doing George's parts, it's pretty hard. Yeah. It's really hard to emulate him. He's got one of them sounds, and that kind of style where it's just like unapologetically him.
Plus I have to assume, I've never seen him perform, but I have to assume that the fans in the audience have very high expectations because they know that song or songs and you can't miss one note, right?
I'm not going to lie. Like since I'm the background, like I'm pretty much the rhythm guitar player, and I'm way under him on the level. I kind of get to relax a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I really love these songs.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of fun with them, and they're not super difficult when it comes to just rhythm.
Very cool.
So I just kind of get to sit back and enjoy myself and be glad that I'm there. The XYZ stuff is ridiculously hard, and I'm the only guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd you fall to that one?
It was the same way. I did the audition for XYZ at the time, and then George picked me up on the same show. It was like them.
So do those bands on the same tour? Is that what?
Yeah. It was the same tour last time, same tour this time. We'll have a tour in December, January, 2 weeks long.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the cover band, and then it would be what? Which band would come on next?
It'll be the cover band, and then on these shows, it's Anthony Corder from Tora Tora and Heartbreak.
No kidding. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, Heartbreak Boulevard is doing like 3 tour songs with Anthony Corder. And then it's XYZ, and then
that's a big lineup. That's a big part.
It's cool.
Is that like a 4-hour duration? Like, there's a Heartbreak gets like what, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes?
Yeah, one of the nights we have 60.
And then okay, I got you. Yeah. And then obviously George would close your show, probably do what, an hour?
Yeah, he does like hour 15. Yeah, and I'm in every band of the night.
So you're working hard, dude.
Yeah,
now,
it's a lot.
Are you wearing inner ears? What are you using for just a lot of guitarists? Yeah. Here's the thing, man. A lot of guitar players do not like to wear inner ears, right? Mm-mm. But I got to assume that, it's going to ultimately save your hearing, man. It's like, the more you play.
I really I guess it's like wear in-ears or get earplugs, but like I haven't found the magic in in-ears yet that because people will be like, some people out there, they could hate it or they love it. And I hear some guys wear them, and after they wear them a couple times, they're like, I cannot play without them anymore.
I know. Especially singers, all my lead singers use them.
Yeah.
And then all my drummers love them.
Yeah.
As a bassist, I don't wear them. I don't have to wear them unless I'm in a certain venue that dictates that.
It's kind of like when you go digital versus using a real amp. I feel like it's like when I've been playing with a real amp, because for these shows I'm using a tube amp instead of going in my digital rig. And, I felt like when I went digital, I was like, I can't go back, right? And then I went with my amps, so now I'm like, oh, I love the amps now. So I think you just have to get used to one or the other.
So for these shows, you're using your tube amp because you need more power and you want more of that sound, right?
It was just a request by the stars.
But are you is that being mic'd, that particular tube amp, or are you running straight into the how
these are being mic'd? I previously used my digital rig, and I think maybe some of the quiet stage was kind of odd to some of the people singing, so they asked me if I would bring a real amp. So I got a 100-watt Marshall Silver Jubilee, and I have some cabinets, some PV cabinets that I got from Ben Jackson from Crimson Glory. And I had my dad completely redo them. He did a fantastic job. They got snakeskin on them. So I'm using.
Are they portable? Are they easy to travel with?
No.
It's a pain in the ass?
Yeah, they're humongous. Yeah.
Wow.
Both the cabinets are like 100 pounds.
So how do you transport them?
We stuck wheels on them. So I guess that's how we'll do it. We'll just, I'll bring them and then we'll roll it up onto the bus. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the head's super heavy too, but we have a case for it.
How many guitars do you bring on stage?
To be honest with you, I mostly just use one, and I have a backup for the night if I need. But with these shows coming up, I'm going to be doing my Les Paul and my Charvel.
And what strings are you currently using?
I can only use Elixir's coated strings.
Really?
My hands rust strings to death.
Interesting.
Yeah, like if I have any other pack of strings from any other company that's not coated like that.
You ever tried the Blue Magic or the Blue Magic's coated?
No. I've been told I need to try those though.
Yeah, I'm using them myself. I love them.
They're working out?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, the bass strings last forever though.
Yeah, they do.
I'll knock out a good pack of guitar strings in like a week.
Isn't that crazy?
Just rehearsing with them. But when I have these Elixirs, they'll last me like a month.
What was the last time you broke a guitar string on stage?
It happens more frequently than I'd like to.
And which string usually breaks on you?
The high E. Yeah. The high E every time, because I do those big bends up at the top and then they pop, which is the worst time for it to happen. The last time I broke a string was a Twisted Fork. I was playing, and I didn't bring it back up that time.
Are you one of those guys that can change a string or lickety split real quick?
Yeah, that time I was in the middle of a song and we were doing Welcome to the Jungle, and it was at that part where it breaks down and gets all weird.
Yeah.
My string broke and I was like, oh, cool, this is perfect. And then I went and I actually grabbed one of Charles' guitars.
There you go.
And just put that on, and I used that for the rest of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have your own tech that's going to just hand you a new guitar.
Yeah, I've noticed, though, I break strings on stage when I didn't bring a backup. Only when I didn't bring a backup guitar. So now I just there's been like 2 shows my whole life where I didn't bring a backup with me, and I broke a string on stage both of those shows, and I had to borrow stuff.
Listen, I never ever break a bass string on stage.
Yeah.
But I always keep a second bass because that one time that I did, I was embarrassed because I don't change strings that quickly. So we had to take a break and I had to change it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't fix it on the fly.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson, man. I would keep a second bass up there, but I never use it. I always use my current bass is always, there.
That's always when it happens.
It's insurance, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's peace of mind.
Yeah. Well, I never make that mistake again.
Right. So, what do you prefer? Like, what do you love playing, man? Like, when you do cover songs, man, do you love to cover Guns N' Roses, Sabbath, Ozzy? Like what is the one thing that when it comes onto that set list that you're extra fired up about?
Dawkins. It happens to be luck that I play with him. I love playing all the Dawkins songs.
So how would you compare your version of those leads to what George does? Are you trying to copy him note for note?
No.
But he does he definitely have his stamp on what he does, and then like you're just trying to emulate that?
To be honest with you, a lot of the leads in all these songs because all the guitar aficionados are from that era. There's so many hard solos in these songs, unless it's like incredibly iconic. Most of the time I don't even.
But do you suppose to get his tone? I mean, like is he using a certain type of amplifier? Like is he certain his strings different? Like what is he doing that's different?
Dude, it's in the hands, dude. I'm telling you, it's like if he hopped on my rig at one of these shows.
So it doesn't matter,
dude. It sounds like him.
So do you suppose Eddie Van Halen's the same way that he would sound like Eddie on anybody's stuff?
Yeah. If I hopped on Eddie's rig, I would not be able to sound like him at all. If he hopped on my rig, he'd sound just like him. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all in his hands. I mean, he has, delay and good amps and all that stuff. And, if you want to get down to the tone quality of the strings and stuff like that, you can. But really, when it comes down to it, it's just his playing.
Diary of an Ozman, the ultimate Ozzy Osbourne tribute, is coming to Sarasota Saturday, September 13th, 7 p.m. at the Sarasota Sahib Shrine Event Center. All proceeds benefit Suncoast Charities for Children, supporting local children, teens, and adults with special needs. Purchase tickets today online at Suncoast Charities for Children. That's suncoastcharitiesforchildren.org. I will be there. So please come check out this amazing tribute. I hear it's very, very good. Diary of an Ozman. I'll be there. Come see K Rock. I'll be up front. See you there. So who handles your social media? Your Facebook and all that stuff?
For Midnight Vice, Tyler does it. Me and Tyler are both doing the Heartbreak Boulevard. And then, I don't know.
So the people that are listening to our show right now, they can go on to Facebook and they can type it in. Is it all Facebook based, or do you have actual websites?
I don't have a website currently for Heartbreak Boulevard, but there is. But there's a Facebook. Yep, there's an Instagram, and it's just Heartbreak Boulevard.
That's a great name, by the way. Who came up with that name?
That was Ben. Yeah, it's a take on the Shotgun Messiah song.
Yeah,
which we do
because Sunset was a great name too.
Yeah,
and so
it made you aware of what you were going to hear when you came.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, is that name going to be retired? Is like Sunset Strip? You're thinking over?
Well, I don't own Sunset Strip. Well, we don't own anybody in the band. It's I think Johnny owns it, so he's got Sunset Strip, and then so we did a different name. Yeah.
But Heartbreak is still a great name.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So people can go onto the Facebook to see your future dates.
Yes. Yeah, we'll always update it and make sure everything's on there. My personal Facebook too. I have everything that I do with all these bands on there.
Now, when you're not performing, what do you do? What are some of your hobbies and interests outside of music?
Oh, dude. I love going outdoors, man. I fish a lot. I literally was just fishing bass before I came here.
Is that something you started as a kid and you kind of like always been a fisherman?
Yeah. Me and my dad used to go out offshore fishing all the time. We got a power cat that we go out on, and we go for snapper and grouper, troll for pelagics, and we do all kinds of stuff. And I just went out on a trip actually and caught some mahi, and so I'm always going out fishing creeks. I'm going out fishing offshore. I love fishing. I love going to the beach. But yeah, I'm constantly out doing that stuff. I'm burnt to shit right now. So
you're sunburned?
Yeah, dude, my back looks insane right now.
This weather is crazy, man. It really is. I wear a suit during the day. I have a 9 to 5, and it's painful, man. Yeah. And so like just getting out of the shower and then having to go out to my truck just to drive to the office. Mm-hmm. I'm already sweating. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, today like I went out. There's this creek next to my apartment complex, and it's at the end of like a river system, and so all like the tilapia and stuff will pile up at the end. And I'm fishing it, and I can feel that like my black shirt is like soaking in the sun, just destroying me, dude. It's bad. Yeah. It's bad. Yeah. And God forbid you were to wear white. You're such a rocker. You have to wear black. Yeah, I rarely wear white shirts. But yeah, day jobs. Yeah. So tell us about your family. Yeah, I was born in Atlanta, and I moved up here when I was 2 with my 2 sisters. So I have 2 older sisters, about 8 years older than me. My dad has been playing music since forever. He's had all kinds of different jobs, done drone photography. Was your father like in bands, like and stuff? Yeah. Growing up, always. He's been in this cover band. They're called the Doodads. They're still around, actually. Oh, really? Yeah. He still plays? Yeah, they're up in like Newport Richie area. That's very cool. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They're good guys, and obviously I know all of them since I was little, so that's how I kind of started. Yeah, you probably like sat in with them when you were younger and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I still do when I go see them. Yeah, right. Yeah, and they're the drummer of that band is Kid. His name's Xander. He's a great guy. We started a band together when we were younger. Did like punk music and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got introduced to all that stuff. Yeah, playing out, going to these bars and stuff. It was fun. It's funny. I've loved playing out so much that it's like it's a drug. Like I have to be on stage. And right now we're on hiatus. Right. Jacked Up. We always take off. like 6 weeks in the summer. Yeah. And Larry, my guitar player, likes to go up to New Bedford to be with his family. But I miss it. I miss the adrenaline. I miss the rush.
Yes.
You know, especially playing at Twisted Fork when there's a big fan base out there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is coming off a stage and people coming up to us and being like, "Oh, you guys were so good. Can I buy you a drink? Can I get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
Like, I love that shit, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once you have it, it's like, it's hard to go back, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, I have to be in a band and I have to perform. Oh, here's another good thing is dude, my liquor bill has gone down dramatically.
That's awesome.
Because when I perform, I really don't drink. And if you're playing every Saturday night, I'm not spending money in the bars, dude. I would normally sit at a bar stool and stare at the waitress and spend a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Now that I'm working on Saturday nights, and you know, I have to be sober to some degree. I mean, I can have a shot, but I have to pretty much have my wits about me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Free performance enhancers is awesome. In any category, it's the best. So I love getting my free drinks.
What are your thoughts though about drinking on stage? Like, are you the kind of guy that like would openly drink a beer on stage, or do you kind of like hide it or like put it in a different cup? Like one of my singers used to drink, and she would just put it in like a cup so it looked like she was drinking a soda, you know. So she kind of hid it.
Yeah. I definitely don't care about the image of drinking on stage. Doesn't bother me at all. Like if I'm having one beer for the night and it's with me on stage, if people see that, doesn't bother me at all.
But do you enjoy to have a little bit of like not take the edge off a little bit?
Yeah.
You have a cocktail.
Yes.
I tell my bandmates, look, have a drink before the show, but you know, be cool with it. You know,
yeah.
Like I had a singer one time, she had a drinking problem and she got a little bit too wasted and she showed up to one particular show drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Like she showed up drunk.
Yeah.
Well, we had a big problem with that. And
I mean, I've made all my mistakes before. So I know what happens. I definitely know where bad things start happening when I'm having drinks.
Right.
So we usually just have none or a couple before the show, and then we go balls to the walls after the show.
So you always have that one train wreck. Like we had this one show where a bunch of us drank too much.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a disaster of a show.
Yeah.
And we learned our lesson the hard way. And then we had a policy from that point on. You know what? No more whiskey on stage. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying like we had whiskey bottles by the drum kit. I'm like, no.
Well, we've also gotten hammered at a show and had a great time, and everybody had a great time. So like we did it was a Sunset Strip show actually. We did the White Elephant. And where is that?
Inglewood,
yeah. Yeah,
right on the beach.
It's on the beach, yeah. And we went there, and when I got there, I was not stoked. I was like, because it was on the floor, you know, the sound system was.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that place.
Initially I was not stoked on it, and then we started playing, and a crowd started gathering, and the whole place got like packed after like two sets.
It does get packed,
and I was like, dang, this is getting cool. And then like people were buying us drinks, those little beers or whatever. They're like the caramel shots or whatever. And like, I think by like towards the middle of the last set, we had all had like 8 drinks. It was like, we were hammered.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody was still loving it. And we weren't probably.
Well, I mean, there's a place for that. Cause you know what? You're part of the party.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
There was a band called Leadfoot Gray, and my old singer Marty was the lead singer there. And those guys, man, they partied hard, and the fans loved it. And they partied with them, and they're just doing shots. And the bartenders and the general managers loved it because at the end of the night, the cash register was like, you know, really high.
Yeah.
Everybody drinking premium liquor, you know, all night long. I mean, some of their fans would buy trays of Jack, and what are those $10 shots?
Yeah, yeah.
So you do a dozen shots. This guy buys a dozen. So some of these bands come in, and they more than earn their money by the selling of the liquor.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
it's awesome. I mean, we like I said at that show, you know, we had a good time, and I mean, I'm sure we didn't sound our best at the end, but nobody cared. We didn't care. We were all just having a great time calling everybody out. You know, going, hey, what's going on? What do you want to hear? And they're at, you know, and it just got integrated in a great way.
I love that you mentioned that because I always ask this question to people. How does your band handle requests? Like, you know, you're in the middle of a song. Like sometimes people mean well, but they'll come up to you or come up to me at least and try to talk to me in the middle of a song, or they'll ask for some stupid request. So I'm always very, very polite, and I try to be very engaging with people. And I'll say to them, you know, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Or maybe like we don't do John Cougar Mellencamp, but would you like to hear Tom Petty or something instead? You know what I'm saying? Like I try to be the nice guy as opposed to some other musicians I know. They're like, fuck you, get out of my face, you know?
Yeah.
How do you guys handle that?
You know, I try my best to be nice to everybody that I can, but I think people are getting hip to the idea that not every band knows a million songs or can like, you know, shit out any song they ask for. So a lot of time we'll get a band request. So I'll go like, hey, you guys should do some Skid Row. Can you guys do some Skid Row? And
because they're smart enough to know your genre and what you're doing.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 we'll have a Skid Row song or whatever the song is.
Right.
You know what I mean, in the set, so it's not a problem. But every once in a while, when somebody says, "Can you guys do this particular song?" and we don't do it, we'll be like,
no one's gonna come to you guys and be like, "Play Sweet Home Alabama," right? Because
no. I mean, dude, we're like in spandex and they're not.
But here's the cool thing: sometimes you guys play obscure stuff.
Yeah.
And I watch people in the audience freak out because I'm like, I can't believe these guys are playing that song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing too, is like, you'd be surprised. Some of these like more obscure bands, you would think nobody would know, and they do. So like, we did like a Danger Danger song. We did Bang Bang. It's a great song. Nobody cared. Then we would do like Wasp, right? We did like a deep cut Wasp song. It's called Blind in Texas. Great song. We go out and play that. I'm like, nobody's going to know this. Love it. Everybody loves it. Yeah. And I'm like, so you don't really know. You have to try them. You have to try them.
Fans of your genre take their music very seriously, man.
Yeah.
And there's a guy named Stet Howland.
Yeah,
used to play with Wasp, right?
Yeah, he came up and he did a song with us.
He lives in Fort Myers.
Yes.
And I met him a long time ago because I used to live down there. And he's a really nice guy, really accomplished drummer. I think he's got his own rock bar or something.
Yeah, he's got his own rock bar. And he's in Metal Church. He was in Wasp, I think on the Crimson Idol album. He's an awesome guy. We did a cover of a Wasp song, and he was there that night, and he came out and played drums.
He must have loved it.
Yeah, he came out and did the backing vocals on Love Machine, and it was we had a great time.
I don't think he does it anymore, but he used to take these beer bottles, right, and he would do this drum solo using beer bottles.
Oh, really?
And it was cool as fuck. And he said only one time in his life did the bottles break on him.
Yeah,
but it was cool. But I think that he was a wild man, and he stopped drinking or something.
Yeah.
I don't know his whole story, but very nice guy, great drummer.
He'd be a great guest on here, man. He's got a lot of stories. He's got a lot of stories.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to him. I think I still may have his cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always looking for interesting guests.
Yeah. I think he'd be a great one. He's got a lot of good stories.
There was a guy named, Siesta Key Lee.
Yeah.
He's friends with Frank Hannon.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say, hey man, let's get Frank Hannon on the show. But a lot of these, there's two problems I have. Like Joe Perry lives up the street, and I reached out to Joe Perry. Now I'm trying to reach out to his wife. I have tickets for his debut in Tampa. It's the Joe Perry Project.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Joe Perry is out with. You're gonna love this lineup. So it's him on guitar,
right?
Brad Whitford on rhythm guitar,
oh, cool.
his buddy, and then the keyboard player from Aerosmith that they take out on the road.
Oh, sweet.
There. So Chris Robinson of the Black Rose is the singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the rhythm section is Stone Temple Pilots, drummer and bass player from Stone Temple Pilots.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's called the Joe Perry Project. They got about maybe 15 to 20 shows lined up. First night's in Tampa, August 13th, I want to say, which I believe is a week from Wednesday. I got great seats. And then they go the next night. They're in Hollywood Hard Rock Hotel.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And so Bobby Schneck is going to be there, and Bobby Schneck lives here in Sarasota, and he at one point was Brad Whitford's tech.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
And he actually filled in for Brad when Brad had that brain injury or some kind of.
Yeah.
Bobby had to step in and like do a show or something.
Yeah.
Because it's last minute. Who's going to play? It's like, the tech. He knows all the songs.
Yeah. Might as well. Yeah.
You know what? So yeah, man. So
that's a gnarly super group right there. That's a lot of names, yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out what they're going to play. I'm guessing. So they're going to play some Aerosmith. They're going to do some Black Rose.
Are they doing covers? They're not doing originals?
It's all covers, dude.
What?
It's all covers.
Okay.
I mean, Joe Perry does have a solo record. Let the Music Do the Talking, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And it came out like when he left Aerosmith that first time.
Okay.
But, it's going to be it's going to be an epic night, dude.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
But anyway, to my point is a guy like that who lives nearby, I want to get him on here, but there's two things. Either A, they don't know who the hell I am. They're like, who's this K Rock guy, right?
Right.
Or number two is that they're so busy, like this got,
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff on their plate. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Perry was on Eddie Trunk recently. And
yes.
He's probably like, should I be on Eddie Trunk or should I be on K Rock's podcast?
I mean, I guess it's just, you got to kind of annoy him, right? You got to get in their ear.
I'm a pleasant pest, but here's the God's honest truth. All I want to do is help promote his tour.
Yeah.
All I want to do is help sell tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no money involved here. I just want to get him on the show. So A, I can help him be successful in that realm.
Yeah.
And B, I just think my audience, would love to hear from a guy like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd watch that whole episode, man. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I mean, George Lynch, I know he doesn't live around here, but I mean, he'd be a cool guy to get.
Yeah, he's definitely the busy one.
Yeah.
He's got like what he's got.
Arizona, he lives in Arizona.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, and he's got Lynch Mob, and then he had like George Lynch and the Mob, and then he does the George Lynch shows. He's got so many bands.
These guys like him, who like were once really big, now they're back. He makes a living. Like, is that his main profession? Is like playing? Yeah. So he's out paying his bills, going around the country.
Well, yeah, because he does. Like I said, he's in these 3 bands that I know of, and he plays with Dawkins sometimes. Like he'll show up and do Dawkins shows sometimes as a guest, and he also has like these guitar camps that he does. He has these. He does lessons for a premium, and like all this. So he's making money playing music.
In Los Angeles, they had this thing with all these rock stars. You come in and like it was like a rock and roll camp. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? There was a name for it, like School of Rock or something.
Yeah.
So you would get tutored by these guys, like the best of the best.
Yes.
And they would put you into groups based on your like ability.
Yeah.
So like if you were really good, you'd be in this group, but if you were just starting out, you'd be over here.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you got counseling. These guys, the drummer would come around and make sure everybody was cool, and then they let you play. I mean, yes, that's a great concept. But I know someone that did it is very, very pricey. But it's a dream. I mean, it's a dream come true for some people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's better if you do, like, I don't know if anybody watching is thinking about doing that for their kids, but I think it's better like when you already know some stuff and you can play pretty well. These guys can like help you, give you their tricks, because they're well known because it's difficult to play what they can play, but they can show you all their little tricks and stuff to get you
right
where you need to be. So yeah, I mean, that's what we're all doing on YouTube, going on YouTube and staring at their hands.
Hey man, thank God for YouTube, because like I love it. I can go on YouTube and I can ask for isolated bass.
Yeah.
On Walk This Way.
Yeah.
Or I just put the song in and some guy put the isolated bass. I'm like, thank you. Like I'm learning so many songs by just going to YouTube.
Yes.
Or there'll be a guy that'll break it down for you section by section.
Yeah, super slow. Yeah, I love that. I love when they do that. Yeah. All the guys I watch, though, like a lot of the guys that are like that are too slow for me. But the guys I watch, they're like, then you go like that with these. And I'm like, okay. I'm a little, I need it quicker. I start getting aggravated with the video. Yeah.
Do you play bass as well?
I mean, I've dabbled in it. So I can play bass.
And what about drums?
Yeah, I got lessons for it when I was younger, and I don't remember my teacher's name, but he's actually a well-known guy. It's better that I don't anyway, because he kicked me out from being his student because I wouldn't learn any of the tablature.
But if you had to record your own music, you can lay it all down.
Yeah.
Do you know a guy named Kevin Fox of a band called Rock Candy?
No, I've heard of Rock Candy though.
Yeah, he is so talented, dude. He plays drums, guitar, sings, bass. He lays down his own shit, and he's just so talented, man. He was on the show. Okay. Rock Candy is great because they'll play like Boston and Kansas.
Yeah.
And that arena rock shit.
That's good stuff.
Which you have to have a lot of singers.
Yeah.
Because they all sing in that band and they harmonize.
Yeah.
And I think what separates, the men from the boys, there's a lot of good guitar players. There's a lot of good drummers.
Yes.
But bands that can harmonize and 2 and 3 part harmonies.
Yep.
That separates them, man. That's like, wow.
Yeah. And that's the tough part about our genre too, is like there's all those gang vocals all the time. And all those big screams and
Plus,
stuff.
it's hard to do that live. I mean, the studio, they probably had, technology at their hands, but to sing some of that stuff live is difficult, man.
Well, you hear some of the stories, they'll like go out on the street of where the studio's at, and they'll pick 5 guys up and be like, hey, can you just like chant this? We'll pay you like $500. Can you like chant this part in this song? I've heard all the stories of bands recording in the studios in LA doing that.
There was a time like the guy from White Lion, he had such an incredible voice, man. And the guy's name, the guitar player was Vinny something.
It was Vito Bratta.
Vito Bratta.
Yeah.
That dude, the solo in the song Wait.
Great. That's
one of the greatest solos. And I think that's the epitome of that era. But somebody shot me down. A buddy of mine who's a DJ, he's like, nah, all that guy did was rip off Eddie Van Halen.
I mean, he's tapping. I mean, everybody's ripping off everybody.
I know.
I hate that. I mean, there's guys who like, if you're spending every moment of your life trying to emulate the one guy, and you just keep doing that and don't expand, you will sound like one person, but using tapping doesn't make you
do you think Eddie Van Halen stole it from somebody else and just made it famous? Or do you think he actually invented it?
I think that, well, he even says that he didn't invent it. He's even said that. But I think what he did is he took the concept of it and spearheaded, like...
He made it look cool.
He expanded upon what it was as it was. I mean, he said that he saw it from... Jimmy Page doing something where he was going, like, I can do it on the guitar right now. He said something. There's a video of him famously where he said he was doing this. He was moving up with this hand, and then he was like, oh, I'm just going to add these. And
So is that lick you're doing right there? Is that considered to be vintage Eddie Van Halen? The way he would?
Yeah. This two-hand tapping. He was watching like one hand and like, but then he brought it up and started using extra fingers like this. Doing stuff like that.
When I go see Van Halen, I used to love his instrumental stuff. He would do the intro to Mean Street.
Right? Yeah.
And then he would like do a medley. He'd throw in like that song 316, you know, now.
That stuff is hard, man.
You know?
Oh, wait,
yeah, Mean Street.
Yeah, that stuff's hard, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Van Halen to me growing up was the band. I mean, that was the shit that I would go to fist fight over in the lunchroom.
Absolutely.
If somebody got in my face about Van Halen, I would kick their ass because I was that into it, man.
Yeah, dude, they're awesome.
And that when that album came out, it was a very powerful album because the one before that wasn't like people said, oh, this isn't really Van Halen, man. You know, I think it was Women and Children first. So then they came out with the Mean Street album, which was just in your face, kick ass.
Oh, I love it. That's like my favorite album, probably my personal favorite album, period.
So This Is Love, right?
Yeah,
Unchained.
Yep.
You know, Hear About It Later.
Dirty Movies.
Oh, yeah,
That's great stuff.
Pictures on the silver screen.
Great stuff. And, you know, when I turned 18, one of the first tattoos I got was the Van Halen tattoo.
I love that. Hey, so what are your thoughts on this, man? Like David Lee Roth still out there doing it. I'm embarrassed because like he looks, to me, it's like, I know he probably needs the money and he loves the glory, but I just think that he's like, I don't want to see that. I mean, I know it's personal to me. It's like, maybe this sounds shitty, but like, I don't want to remember him like that. Like, what are your thoughts on these guys coming back that clearly can't do what they did?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say. I mean, I think about like this. Think about the day that like somebody tells you like, dude, you gotta put it down. That would suck, dude. Like, I don't want to.
I know, but like Vince Neil, don't you think Vince Neil's hurting his reputation by?
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's people know him for that now, and like the music, at least in the music circle,
they're making fun of him.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Same thing with Axl and stuff like that. And it's like on one hand, like don't get me wrong, I definitely get in on the bashing. I think it's funny, you know what I mean, and it is a little embarrassing for sure. And then it's also like, but man, what am I going to do when I get there? And I can't play anymore. Am I going to be like, fuck these guys and just like keep going? And I'm like,
well, yeah. I think it's different when you're a guitarist versus a singer. It's two different things, I think.
Yeah.
Because, the singers, they get fat and their voices change.
Yeah.
And then they forget shit.
Yep.
Whereas, you can play guitar till the day you die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, if Vince Neil walked in here right now and wanted to hang out, I'd hang out with the guy and I'd drink with him, and I'd like, if he wants to jam, I'll jam with him. So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Who am I to say that?
Absolutely.
But I just think that I like my heroes. Like I think of David Lee Roth. I think of the old Roth, where he was like threatening to bang your girlfriend if you didn't.
He's crazy.
If you didn't clap loud enough, and he was like such a star. He to me was the epitome of the front man.
I know. And it's like anybody who ever met the guy too, any celebrity, like they always have a David Lee Roth story.
Yeah, like he was like, "What are you drinking, man?" And like it's like, David, it's only 8 a.m.
Yeah, you don't look so good, man. Yeah. I watched a video the other day, and it was like Bill Hader talking about a story.
The Van Halen brothers.
Yeah, he was talking about the Van Halen brothers, and who's the guy from Black Flag? Who's the guy everybody knows?
Oh God, I don't know.
Henry Rollins.
He
was going to this like podcast radio situation, and David Lee Roth was coming out, and he had like a coat lined with beer, and he's like, "You want a drink?" And Henry Rollins was like, he doesn't drink anymore, and he's like,
"No."
Like
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm good. And he was like, "Well, you got school tomorrow?" It's like,
I know that's something that somebody would say to you in high school. Like that's something that's so like
Yeah.
But
he's a character.
Speaking of Van Halen, and Sammy Hagar to me was phenomenal as a solo artist.
Yeah.
And when he joined Van Halen, I was psyched. And I went out and bought 5150. And to this day, it's one of my favorite records, dude.
Yeah.
And that band just took off with him.
Yeah.
I hated the way it ended, man. I hated I saw that final tour with them. I saw that. And it was like, Eddie was horrible. Eddie looked horrible. And I love Sammy, and I believe Sammy, and those guys fell apart. And it really bothers me. Now, apparently Sammy said that they had a chance to talk before Eddie died. And they kind of like smooth some things over.
Good.
But Good. I just didn't like that whole way that went down, man. It's like,
I mean, that's classic people getting addicted to drugs and managing their creativity and all that stuff. I mean, it's a classic band story. I mean, it happens to all of them.
What are your thoughts about Led Zeppelin not wanting to play because when Bonzo died, Robert Plant was like, why should we ever continue without our drummer? Now, there's so much money that they left off the table. Not that Robert Plant needs the money.
Right.
But don't you think people all over the world, even to this day, would go apeshit if Led Zeppelin said they were going to get back together with a different drummer? It could even be John Bonham's son, Jason.
Yeah. It's at the end of the day, it's up to them, man. Some bands are like that. Like every member is so integral that they like crumble apart at the seams if somebody dies. And then there's also those bands like Whitesnake where it's like one guy and then he's just pretty much hiring everybody else.
So the band is like a shell of itself because it's all different people like all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes it is like David Coverdale. He's Whitesnake and he just hires all of his guys. I mean, he had like 20 guitar players. He had like all,
like I lost track of like Deep Purple went through a lot of changes and there's certain bands that went through so many changes.
Yeah.
Like I lost track of the personnel, then I lost interest in the band.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, like Skynyrd is kind of that way where, like obviously most of the members died in that plane crash and then they switched them all out. But now that band's been, a lot of those guys in that band have been there longer than the guys who were in it before they died.
But they're calling it a tribute band.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, that's not cool. See, here's the thing about Skynyrd. Skynyrd gets a pass in my book, and I'll tell you why. Mm. Yes, there's no more original members anymore. Gary's dead.
Yeah.
Now, you could say that Ricky was there from the early days, Ricky Medlock.
Right.
But anyway, and Johnny took over for Ronnie. But they get a pass because they're such an American institution now.
Yeah.
And a cultural icon. And that grandfathers that took their sons are now taking their grandkids.
Yeah.
And generations upon generations are coming to enjoy Skynyrd.
Yeah.
So Skynyrd in my book gets a pass because
I love Skynyrd.
They just have to keep playing. Like the world's going to come to an end and Skynyrd will still be on the stage somewhere.
I made a Skynyrd tribute band when I was 17 with my dad back in the day. I love that band.
You know what sets that band apart? I'm not going to tell you it's the guitars.
Yeah.
It's Billy Powell's keyboard playing.
He's awesome.
Was so unique.
Oh yeah.
It was like bluesy, honky tonkish,
and classical at the same time.
It was amazing, dude. And when you listen to Skynyrd, man, I really hear that. I hear that piano more than anything because a lot of bands don't have a piano.
Yeah. No, they're fantastic.
And you have 3 guitar players that are wailing, which is great.
Yeah, the 3 guitar players is interesting. You know what I mean? It's like, what bands can you think of that has 3? It's like
the Outlaws.
And like
they used to.
Iron Maiden.
Molly Hatchet used to have that.
Yeah.
They're down to 1.
But, really? They only have 1 now?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I just opened for him. I should remember that.
Dude, there's a guy playing guitar. I saw them at Thunder by the Bay a couple years ago. He's playing guitar, bass player, drummer, singer, and then they had a guy playing keyboards that had like this guitar sound to it.
Interesting.
It was weird.
I met some of them. They're the nicest guys.
Oh, the band sounded fantastic.
Yeah, they're great.
Dude, I love Southern rock. I see the Outlaws whenever they come to town.
Yeah, they're great.
The Outlaws were my jam, dude. That first album.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Allman Brothers is a big one.
The Florida Guitar Army. Now, Allman Brothers, and we're going to end on this note because it's getting late here, but
sure.
Here in Southwest Florida, especially like Bradenton down to like Charlotte, there's this massive Allman Brother like thing, man. Either they knew Greg or they knew Greg's family or they knew Dickie.
Yeah.
The Betts, the Allmans, there's just like you go to Stottlemyre's, we play there sometimes.
Yeah.
Big Top, we play there. You play an Allman song, man. People go apeshit.
Yeah.
There's such a hunger for it down here.
I feel like Florida is like a big part of the fan base for them. I mean, weren't they from here, a lot of them?
Jacksonville is where some of them were from, but
yeah.
Greg kept a home in Bradenton. Dickie, I think his wife still lives in that Osprey home.
Yeah.
So there's a very strong footprint here.
Yeah.
In fact, the studio that I use, it was called something else back then, but now it's called Bay Sound.
Yeah.
It was called something else a long time ago.
Midnight Vice recorded their first EP there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that studio is like famous, man. Like Bud Snyder, who's still around. He like was their producer or produced some of their shit.
Yeah.
So there's such a story here. Like it's incredible. Like my drummer's wife.
Yeah.
She is a Betts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Her maiden name is Betts, and she's part of that whole Betts family.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's nuts. Wow. That's a small world, though.
It is small world. All right, Sam, well, in our final minute here, is there any shout outs you want to give to anybody or any final words, man?
Oh, man. I got nothing off the top of my head. Just come see our shows coming up. We have a 4-show run with XYZ, George, and Heartbreak Boulevard coming up. Big Top, Mount Dora Theater, Crazy Uncle Mike's in Boca Raton, Mango Rita's in Fort Myers. That's coming up. It'll be 7th through the 10th.
August 7th through the 10th?
Yep, coming next week.
Around the corner. Well, dude, you're going on tour in a couple days.
Yeah, dude, I'm like a couple days out. I'm out.
Are they putting you up? Like, what do? They give you a bus? Like, how you getting all these places?
We got a bus. Yeah, so I'll go and bring my stuff and park at the manager's house. And
because you're playing like consecutive nights, right? Like
it's all
boom.
Yep.
Mango, what's it called? Mango
Rita's, yeah.
They took over for the Buddha. Like, tell us about that. Like, didn't the Buddha, wasn't that the premier rock club? And then it went
yeah, the Buddha was kind of like this. It was really like vibey place for some reason. Like, you'd go there and be like, I don't know about this, but then you play there, see the personnel and people come in, you'd be like, wow, this is a great spot.
It was always a rock bar, dude.
Yeah.
Even when I used to hang out there, it was a rock bar.
Yeah, it's kind of dirty and fun.
And it was a late night with smoky place. I mean, you come out of that place covered with smoke.
Oh yeah.
And I believe the new owners fixed that, and it was a better vibe from a health perspective.
I think whatever happened, I think they posted about it, and the deal was like, I guess the people who own the building, they didn't allow them to like fix some things that were health code.
That's always the case, man. Right?
And then
they were
some
landlord that is a jerk. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they couldn't.
That's a shame. You know why, man? Because we need more rock and roll venues.
Yeah.
And we need more hard rock and original venues.
Dude, I hear about all that Crowbar's closing. All these great bars that
Crowbar was famous.
Yeah, dude, and that's closing too.
Unbelievable. It's sad for the future generations coming up.
Yeah.
See, like my band is successful because we cater to the tourists and snowbirds at the tiki bars, and we play the songs that they want to hear.
Yeah.
So we keep a dance floor of fun 80s music.
Yeah.
And we're getting paid. But I'll admit that sometimes I get bored of that. Like
sure.
I would like to be in a Van Halen tribute. I'm like, fuck, why not?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, but Orange County Roadhouse, OCC, and Twisted Fork, thank God for those two places.
Oh yeah.
Because they play hard rock, they play metal, people love it, people show up, man.
Yes.
It's alive and well.
Yeah, and they have great sound systems. Yeah, they're great. That's great places right there. I love playing OCC. I love playing Twisted Fork.
All right, Sam. Well, listen, man. Thanks for coming in, man. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is great.
I advise all my listeners to come see you. You're a phenomenal guitar player.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
And your band is fantastic. So let's all go see you guys.
Yeah, that sounds great, man.
All right, man. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, all guests of the Jacked Up podcast with K Rock get a free Jacked Up hat.
Yeah, sweet.
And I know you're a hat wearing guy.
Yeah, I'm wearing this one right now.
Yeah, so there you go. Bass Pro Shops. Now you can wear the Jacked Up hat.
Here, let me see it. Like, cut away.
That looks good on you, bro.
Cut back.
I like it.
Okay, sweet.
All right.